You are watching 2+U Nevada. Joining us this afternoon, we have Kenneth Quirk, the General Manager of Lincoln Heating and Air. And of course, talk about the perfect week to have you joining us because it is dang hot.
Yes, yeah, finally. In the heating and air conditioning business, we love it when it gets this hot. So everyone else is complaining and we're celebrating.
Exactly. All right. So as these temperatures rise, let me ask you, what are the 3 things that we need to know so that we don't give our HVAC a heart attack?
Great question. Yeah, there's definitely some common homeowner mistakes that we can alert people to. The first one, and the most common, the one that most people would probably be able to tell you, is you have to change your filters. Yeah. It's the #1 culprit for air conditioning problems. Surprisingly, it can even, in the heat, cause your air conditioner to totally freeze over if it doesn't have enough airflow.
Really? So how often do you change them? Like I heard, is it every 3 months, or do you recommend even more than that?
Great question. It should be a minimum of every 3 months. It can depend on where is your filter. If your filter's in the ceiling, it's going to be more likely every 3 months. If it's in the floor or if you have pets, you're going to need to change it a lot more frequently.
Really? Okay, so now, okay, I'm going to get personal. We have ours in the wall. Like it's in the wall as we head down the stairs towards our garage. So it's not in the ceiling. So is that a more often type of filter?
So I would just recommend kind of getting a feel for it. Look at it every month. But if it still looks pretty clean, you could probably just let it go for a while. And then you'll kind of get a feel for how often you need to change it. But I wouldn't ever go more than every 3 months.
Okay, okay, good to know. And then if you have pets that shed, that also adds to the frequency.
Yes, absolutely. And pets shed at different times of the year, so that might mix it up a little bit for you.
All right, Kenneth, that's a great #1. What about #2?
Well, actually, one more thing on that subject. Another factor is sometimes people put in filters that are a higher quality. And that higher quality filter, it lets less things through, but that also includes air. So people who are worried about having a really good filtration system in their house just to have clean air can sometimes inadvertently cause their system to have a heart attack because their system doesn't have enough airflow.
So the cheaper filters are sometimes better?
Absolutely, yes. Many times. I'd say more often than not, the cheaper filters are better. Now, if you want better filtration, there's other options. You can upsize the duct, or you can get air cleaning products that don't block air, like UV lights or ion generators and things like that. So there's other options you can talk to your heating and air conditioning company about, but yeah, they can inadvertently cause that by having high quality filters too.
I'm already imagining another segment with you. We'll have you back and we'll talk about air quality. Oh, yeah. That would be a phenomenal segment because there are people out there with allergies or asthma or babies, and they're wanting to make sure that their air. Okay, so we'll have you back just to talk air quality. Absolutely. I love that. Okay, so that's still #1 on the 3 things to not give your HVAC a heart attack. What's #2?
So #2 is, again, it has to do with airflow, but a lot of times people will go around and they will close the registers, either in their floor or in their ceiling.
Dave does that all the time.
Yes, so every time you do that, you're restricting airflow. And airflow in heating and air conditioning is like blood pressure in your body. So if you're closing it off, you're raising your blood pressure, and that's very bad for everything in your body. It's the same thing with heating and air conditioning. If you don't have enough airflow, it's bad for everything in the system. So you're giving yourself a heart attack by closing off those vents. So especially in times of the year where it's running a lot, open up all the vents. Make sure it has enough air.
Oh, I am so using that when I get home because he's got like the magnets. He puts them on the floor. Okay, thank you. What's #3?
And the last one is on the condenser outside your house. So that's what most people think of when you say the word air conditioner. Yeah. They think of that box on the outside of the house.
This thing.
Yes, exactly, that thing. So that condenser, it needs air around it in order for it to work. It's cooling refrigerant. That's its job outside. And if you have weeds growing up next to it, or if you're storing things too close to it, it's restricting its ability to cool. And same thing, now we're talking about refrigerant instead of air, but if there's not enough air flowing across it, it's putting more pressure on your compressor, which is by far the most expensive part of your heating and air conditioning system. So that's the last part that homeowners often make a mistake on, is storing things too close to it or letting it get really dirty That's why having it serviced annually where they spray it out and clean it, it actually does make a big difference.
Really?
Because it keeps the debris from accumulating, which then gives your system a heart attack.
Well, and we're also so dusty around here, and they're outside, so that's something to consider.
Yeah, and especially if you're near cottonwood trees or you have a lot of leaves and debris blowing around your neighborhood or your home, they can clog up very quickly.
Okay, now settle a war in my household. In the heat of summer, what is the ideal temperature for the thermostat?
So your thermostat should, that's a great question. I'm being careful because I'm being brought into a war.
The man side and you've got the woman side,
Yeah.
if I'm being honest.
Honestly, it works pretty well. Anywhere from 68 to 72 degrees is pretty standard. Your air conditioner should be able to handle that. The main thing I'd caution people on is you don't want to have drastic temperature changes. So an air conditioner works most efficiently when it's maintaining a temperature. So if you have, especially with programmable thermostats, and you leave to work and you come back, depending on how you set that program, you want to make sure it's okay for it to decline and go up, but you don't want to be, just like in your car, you don't want to be accelerating super fast. It's better for the car when it's going gradually up and down. So that would be the main warning I'd have there. As far as temperature goes, as long as you're not to an extreme on one side or the other, it should be able to handle it just fine.
Okay, very PC answer there, Kenneth, but thank you very much for answering that. So for folks at home who have noticed that their AC or HVAC system isn't running as well as they want, how do they get a hold of Lincoln Heating and Air?
Yeah, great question. The best way is to go to our website, lincolnheating.com. You can find our phone number there. You can schedule online if you prefer doing it that way. That's the easiest way, or you can call us at 775-359-1985.
All right, Kenneth, thank you so much for joining us. You're watching 2+U Nevada.